My name is Lawanda, and I thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Basement Justice. I'm here with Gary Chambers, who has been employed with CTA for 17 years. First as a bus operator for 10 years, later being promoted as a supervisor for 7 years. I will be interviewing Gary Chambers on the subject of how he was able to be employed with the CTA for 17 plus years with a conviction of armed robbery at the age of 19. Gary states that it was a wrongful conviction and is risking it all now to come from out of the shadows to expose the Cook County Integrity Unit, which isn't really interested in fixing the justice system, until Kim Foxx became the Cook County State Attorney. Chicago is currently under a federal enforced consent decree, which I will be discussing with Gary to find out just what that means to him and his hope of one day having his wrongful conviction exonerated or vacated in the upcoming year, under State's Attorney Kimberly M. Fox. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Ms. Wanda.
Thank you for meeting with me this evening to discuss this matter.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. I asked, why doesn't anybody know about you?
Well, Ms. Lawanda, for one, I only have one felony, and that is it, regarding this armed robbery. And I've been working ever since. I've been working before, and I've been working after. It's the only crime which I am accused of being a part of.
Mm-hmm. Why now, though? Why now, after all this time, are you coming out about your past?
Well, because I believe the justice system is actually ready to address some of these past wrongs. And I believe that I just take them at their word, that I should be able to come out. And if they see that I didn't do it, that they should be willing to fix it, as they are saying.
Very good. Very good. Can you share with our viewers a little bit about your experience and the impact it has had on your life?
Absolutely. Growing up as a child from as early as 5, I've always wanted to be a part of the Chicago Police Department or some police department, and that's a dream that I'll never achieve. And being a part of just being able to serve the public is something I've always enjoyed doing. No one's in my family are criminals, and the likelihood in my day of growing up, the likelihood of me being one is just unfathomable to think of. So.
Can you share a little bit more about what happened for you to receive that conviction?
Well, for one, my family didn't have money to hire an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So I was forced to fight my case with a public defender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Under the representation of that public defender, he went with a bench trial in the judge. And typically the judge believes whatever the police officer says. It's like law, whatever the police said happened. It doesn't matter if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It might well happen if the police says it.
Mm-hmm. Even if the officer wasn't there.
Even if the officer wasn't there, if he said he was there, he was there.
So then this is his judgment based off of you being an African American male, 19 years of age. Fits the bill sounds like something that kid would do. Don't know you, no record.
Absolutely.
Happens every day.
Too often.
Way too often.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel, knowing that being a black man in America, this is the pressure that you have to succumb to?
I would tell you like this: the way that I was raised up, life wasn't going to be easy. It don't matter if it's this. If it wasn't this, it'd be something else. And this is not the worst thing that people have gone through. People have gone through it and made mega successes out of their lives. And I believe that I can be a success story as well. And I believe that when we look to other people as heroes, and you're shuffling your way through these Martin Luther King breakfasts, and and looking for different heroes, you can be a hero too. And I'm gonna be my own hero. And that's why I come out of the shadows to, tell my story. I'm not telling it from behind bars. I'm free.
In a sense, but are you really?
Absolutely not.
I mean, freedom is open to the interpretation. I mean, just thinking about the Constitution and where we are today.
Well, the Constitution of the United States of America, in my opinion, Miss Lawanda, is only for selected few, and you don't know if you that selected few until you are in need of it. And I am a witness to tell you that in most cases, you know, if you're not well-to-do, the Constitution don't apply to you.
What did you go on to do after your conviction?
I've been working. You know, I've been working, whether it's in the car industry or whether it's with CTA. Chicago Transit Authority have afforded me 17 years in exchange for the service that I get with them, and I've been doing okay. But in process of retiring at this time.
Can you tell me about the incident that occurred on January 18, 2018, during the Red Line Argyle fire?
Absolutely, Miss Lawanda. I was working a supervisor position on Sheridan and Foster, and I was called to the Red Line for a gentleman that was contemplating burning the train up, and himself. He was in some sort of mental psychosis to where he was threatening to harm himself as well as passengers aboard that train. I arrived on the platform, and we once I entered the train, the gentleman threatened to douse me with the paint thinner that he had, and he motioned to attack me, and a scuffle ensued, and then officers intervened and made an arrest for that gentleman.
And how did that event go on to impact you?
Well, I've been ill about it, you know, for a while, but you know, because it's like, you know, helping him not burn himself up. I thought it would be more like Good Samaritan deed. You know what I mean? The gentleman said he was going to burn himself up. He was going to burn the train up. He was going to burn people up. You know, once the struggle ensued, none of those things happened. You know, he lived and everyone lived. But after that, I become a party to a lawsuit, not by him, but by the police.
So was this train moving at the time where you had to go inside and
that train was
disarm this?
that train was standing upon my boarding it.
So this train was stopped and it held people up from getting to work or to their families or wherever they had to go.
Rush hour was brought to a halt. Yes, ma'am.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if this gentleman is throwing paint thinner around or on him, he's still inside of the train.
That's correct.
So if he was to catch flame,
it could be combustible.
Exactly. So now we're looking at the lives of many.
Absolutely.
Who have nothing to do with this guy's psychosis.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. Did the CTA train staff on how to deal with situations when people have mental health on the train or any sort of emergency ensues of that nature? What do they tell you is the protocol?
Protocol would probably be to call the control center, and you know, so they can send CPD or CFD.
And how long would something like that take when someone's trying to burn the train up? Did you say I made a call and you wait, or do you?
Well, I believe well, that time CPD is already on the scene and awaiting CFD, you know, to possibly, you know, maybe try to calm the gentleman down. But, you know, once we get on the train and, you know, to assess the situation, you know, and then the gentleman is saying, close the doors, you know, and there's a discrepancy as to who said what. So,
now,
you know, there you have it.
I happen to be happen to wonder, how does the police get to that point of trying to attack you then?
It wasn't the police that attacked it. Oh, you mean
The department.
the department suing?
Yeah.
I believe it's the officer that stating that he was injured in making the arrest is finding fault that my scuffling with the offender that was attempting to burn himself in the train up, who also stated that he was going to burn me up, stating that it had not entered the train. I'm sorry, had I closed the doors as he stated he requested, which actually he didn't, that him being able to, he wouldn't have been forced to go onto the train, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, is there any footage available to contradict what this officer was saying at that time?
Well, I would assume that there are body cameras as well as video cameras on the train.
Yeah, because I would be just curious to know what that looked like.
Mm-hmm.
For a person like me who wasn't even on the train and I'm just looking at it, like what I'm seeing. You know, am I seeing a person being instructed to assist, or am I seeing the police intervening? You know, what does that look like?
Right.
For him to say that something of this, you know, I was injured.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that, I mean, I've seen the footage and it didn't look like he was injured. So, I mean, that's open to interpretation.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well,
just like,
since it's a legal matter, I'm not able to discuss on, if he was injured or wasn't injured or whatever case, under the advisement of my attorney.
okay. If you were able to speak with Kim Fox's office or Kim Fox herself, what would you want her to know about your case? What?
Well, the main thing I would want her to know is that it's a conviction based on the sole testimony of a police officer whom you currently have a dissent decree in. And most of the dissent decrees are back in this time of these type of cases. We're talking about 1992, 93. You know, this is when all your problems came, and this is a case that is lingering. And I am telling you that the case is based upon the sole testimony of police officers. In spite of what it is, you might hear, okay, well, it's an armed robbery case. It's very serious in nature. It's based on the sole testimony. At the end of the day, it's based on the sole testimony of a police officer.
So, and the reason I brought that up is because I'm seeing a parallel between these two situations, and it seems that, we have two situations where a cop is saying something is so that isn't necessarily so, but I'll take it and run with it because I can get away with it.
Basically, that's what they do.
Abuse some power.
That's basically what they do. You know, if the police said it, and it's in front of his legal partners, his peers, it must be true.
Yeah. So, with this statement of Kim Fox, her goal is to make the Cook County the most transparent prosecutor's office in the country, right? Now, hearing that and knowing what we do know about Cook County and it being a wrongfully conviction capital, according to 60 Minutes, not me, but with that information, how likely do you think that this will receive the attention that it deserves?
Well, I'll tell you like this. I don't know Miss Fox, and Miss Fox don't know me. But in order for it to be the most transparent county in the United States, somebody must knock on my door. I'm just saying.
Very bad. Is there anything you'd like to share with our viewers before we close out?
Well, I can tell you like this, we are in a world now that is constantly changing, and I believe that, if you can't receive a second chance at justice when you have not had a first chance. So there you have it.
Well, I appreciate you for coming out to speak with me this evening about this matter, and I do hope that the justice you deserve is served. And our viewers and our team will do whatever we can on our end to make sure the word is spread to others, because I'm sure there are many others who have been wrongfully convicted and they just go on with life as if nothing happened, and feel that if I do speak up, no one is going to listen.
Right. Well, this is America, so anything's possible. Thank you for having me.
That's your right, Paul. Well, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too, man.
Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to Gary Chambers' story. And I hope you all like, subscribe, and comment and share your thoughts. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.